This video was made at the request of Sahar K. Long ago, in a land filled with magic and wonder, there stood a beautiful kingdom ruled by a wise and kind king and queen. They were loved by all, for their hearts were just and their reign was fair. Under their care, the people lived in happiness and peace, and the kingdom flourished in prosperity. Yet deep within their hearts, the king and queen carried a tender wish. Despite all the joy around them, they longed for the laughter of a child, someone to bring new magic into their lives and complete their happiness. Day after day, they longed for a child to fill their hearts with joy. Then, one magical day, a wise wizard appeared and said,
"A child will be born soon."
As they heard his words, their hearts filled with hope, and a new light began to shine within the palace. As the months gently passed, the queen was finally blessed with a beautiful baby girl. At her arrival, the palace overflowed with happiness, and the king and queen's lives were wrapped in pure joy. The entire kingdom celebrated the arrival of the precious princess. Bells rang throughout the land, music filled the streets, and joy shone on every face. The king and queen shared their happiness with all their people, spreading love and laughter throughout every corner of the kingdom. To celebrate the birth of the princess, the king and queen invited guests from all corners of the kingdom to the palace, so they could offer their blessings and share in the joy. Among the honored guests were 6 kind and wise fairies, each carrying their own sprinkle of magic, ready to bestow gifts of wonder upon the baby girl. One by one, the 6 fairies stepped forward, each blessing the baby princess with a special gift of magic and love.
I bless you with the gift of hope and protection. I bless her with the gift of joy. I bless her with the gift of kindness. I bless you with the gift of wisdom. I bless you with the gift of grace.
After each fairy had given her blessing, the princess was showered with magic and love. But just as the last fairy stepped forward to make her wish, suddenly, the palace doors flew open, and the evil witch, uninvited, stormed inside. Her dark presence froze the celebration, leaving the king and queen in shock and fear.
You invited everyone, but you left me. Now I will grant my wish. The princess will prick her finger and die when she turns 16.
The witch vanished after cursing the princess. Then, the last fairy stepped forward and said,
Don't worry, my blessing is left. She will not die. In fact, she will sleep for a long time.
The king and queen's hearts were broken by what had happened, but the last fairy's wish filled them with hope once more. The next morning, the king ordered every spindle in the kingdom to be collected. Before his watchful eyes, they were all burned, as the people hoped this would protect the princess from the dark curse. As the years gently passed, the princess grew up in a humble cottage hidden deep within an enchanted forest, safely guarded by the fairies who lovingly watched over her every step. Guided by their care, she blossomed into a kind and graceful young girl. Now 16 years old, she remained unaware of her true identity, never knowing she was born a princess. Whenever she caught a glimpse of the distant palace, a strange feeling stirred in her heart, as if the place were familiar, almost as though it had always been her own.
Why do I keep coming back here? It feels so familiar, yet I don't understand why. You must not think about these things. I I don't know why, but it feels important. Some places do that.
But no matter how hard the fairies tried to keep her thoughts away, the princess couldn't ignore the pull in her heart. And one day, unable to hold back her curiosity, she said,
I'd like to see it.
The princess began walking toward the palace, with the fairies guiding her steps. She had no idea she was heading toward her own home, unaware that the strange pull in her heart was the palace calling her back. Drawn by a feeling she could not explain, she moved closer, as if her past itself was reaching out to her. As she stepped inside the palace, a warm sense of belonging washed over her. Every hall and corner felt strangely familiar, as though she had been there before, like she had finally come home. She entered the grand hall with the fairy beside her, and at that very moment, the king and queen caught sight of her. One look was enough. Their hearts knew instantly that the princess had returned.
This is the secret we've been hiding from you. This is your home.
We cannot hide her anymore.
The king and queen rushed forward and wrapped her in a loving embrace, knowing they could no longer keep her hidden. Holding her close, they prayed and hoped with all their hearts that their precious princess would be safe. Before long, the news spread throughout the kingdom that the princess had finally returned home. Joyful celebrations erupted everywhere. The palace was beautifully decorated with lights and banners, and the people gathered to welcome her with love, cheers, and a grand celebration worthy of their princess. But what the princess did not know was that deep within the palace, high in a lonely tower, the evil witch's curse still waited, and one day, as if drawn by unseen magic, she felt herself slowly moving toward it. Following the pull of the magic, the princess climbed the winding stairs of the tower. In a small, brightly lit room, she saw an old woman beside a spindle wheel. Curious, for she had never seen anything like it, she reached out and touched it. The moment her finger was pricked, the princess collapsed to the floor, lifeless, as the curse took hold. What the witch never knew was that the final fairy's magic had already reshaped the curse. The princess would not be taken away, but would fall into a deep, enchanted sleep. As she collapsed, the fairies gathered and cast their spell, gently placing the entire kingdom into a long, silent slumber. So all would wait together until the day the princess awakened once more. The fairies' magic slowly spread through the palace and far beyond its walls. Guards fell into a gentle sleep where they stood, maids rested quietly in the halls, and even the king and queen drifted into peaceful slumber beside their daughter. Across the kingdom, people in the streets, in their homes, and in every corner of the land, closed their eyes as a deep, enchanted silence settled over the sleeping kingdom. Soon, the entire kingdom lay still and quiet, wrapped in a deep, enchanted silence, as time itself seemed to pause. As time passed, destiny had another chapter written for the sleeping princess. One day, a handsome prince rode past the quiet kingdom, and by a magic he could not explain, he was drawn toward the palace, as if fate itself was guiding him there. Led by the unseen pull of magic, the prince was drawn through the silent halls to the princess's chamber. The moment he saw her, he was enchanted by her beauty, and unable to resist, he gently touched her cheek. The instant the prince touched her cheek, the princess opened her eyes, as though she had been waiting for that very moment. Their gazes met, and in that silent heartbeat, a powerful magic bloomed between their hearts. As soon as the princess awakened, the entire kingdom sprang back to life, as if it had never slept at all. The princess was overjoyed as she looked around and saw the kingdom come back to life. The streets buzzed with activity. Laughter filled the air once more, and the people she had never truly known before celebrated her return. Her heart swelled with happiness, knowing that her home and her people were safe and alive again. And at last, the long-awaited day arrived. The princess and the prince were married, surrounded by happiness, laughter, and the joy of the entire kingdom. Their love had proven that no matter the darkness or the curse, true love always triumphs in the end.